Okay, let's jump right into this. In early 2024, something happened that absolutely shattered the very foundation of corporate security. I'm talking about basic human trust. This wasn't your standard tech glitch or some random hacker guessing a password. No, this is the Arut Deepfake heist. It's essentially a terrifying digital ghost story, and it happens to be the most massive case of AI-driven financial fraud we have ever seen to date.
I want you to just imagine this for a second. You log into a totally routine work meeting, right? You're surrounded by familiar faces on your screen. You hear their specific cadences, their recognizable voices. But what if the people looking back at you aren't actually real? What if they're literally predators, just wearing the digital skin of your colleagues? Pretty chilling, right? Which brings us to part 1, the perfect digital clones.
Every great heist starts by scoping out a target, and in this thriller, that target was an unsuspecting finance worker at Arup's Hong Kong branch. Now, before they even made contact, these attackers spent months just lurking in the shadows. And the crazy part? They didn't have to break into any secure servers. They literally just used the open internet. They scraped YouTube videos, scoured LinkedIn, downloaded public corporate earnings calls, and then they fed all that data into advanced AI models like GANs or diffusion models to spawn perfect digital clones of the company's actual executives. It really illustrates a terrifying reality for all of us. Our own public digital footprints are exactly what they use to build these traps.
Moving on to Section 2, Baiting the Hook.
You see, the scammers didn't just try to smash the digital door down. They manipulated human psychology. It all started with an initial hook. It was a spear-phishing email pretending to be from the UK-based CFO, demanding this urgent, secret transaction. And naturally, the employee did exactly what you're supposed to do. He pushed back. He was skeptical, and he refused. But the scammers, they didn't panic. Actually, they escalated the whole thing by weaponizing his own doubt. They basically said, "Oh, you don't believe in email? Fine, let's get on a video call to prove it." They took his security-conscious skepticism and turned it into the trapdoor for a massive, terrifying deception.
So that leads to Section 3, the phantom video call.
This is the exact moment where your standard phishing attempt spirals into a complete nightmare. When the employee logged into this multi-person video conference, think Teams or Zoom, he wasn't met by some choppy, obviously pre-recorded video. No. He was met by the UK CFO and several other colleagues he totally recognized. And these deepfakes, they interacted with each other flawlessly in real time. They were throwing around accurate, company-specific jargon. And honestly, the worst part of it all was that they acted as a collective, actively pressuring him to make the transfer. This wasn't just a static image. It was a highly coordinated, interactive illusion perfectly designed to corner the victim.
Okay, part 4, Hacking the Human.
We are now at the climax of the heist, and it reveals the sheer, terrifying speed at which visual trust can convert into a total catastrophe. So think about this timeline. After months of silent lurking and training the AI, the trap is finally sprung. Day 1 in the morning, we have that initial skeptical email exchange. Day 1 in the afternoon, the phantom multi-person video call takes place. The employee, who is now utterly convinced by the bosses he literally just saw and heard, logs off. And then, just minutes later, it's rapid-fire execution. He initiates 15 separate wire transfers to 5 different local bank accounts in Hong Kong. And that rapid execution resulted in a truly staggering loss, $25,600,000 US. Just to put that into perspective, that is the equivalent of 200 million Hong Kong dollars. Gone, literally in the blink of an eye. The sheer, massive scale of that theft is, well, it's almost impossible to process. But the true horror movie-level reveal, that didn't actually happen until a few days later. The employee eventually reached out to the real corporate headquarters in the UK just to officially log the transaction. And that is when he experienced this absolute stomach-dropping realization. The real executives confirmed they had absolutely zero knowledge of the request. There was no secret transaction. And of course, they were never on that video call.
Following all of this, Arup's chief information officer pointed out something absolutely critical. The company's IT systems, they were never actually breached. Not a single firewall was broken. There was no malware, no virus, no technical vulnerability exploited whatsoever. This was a purely psychological breach. The AI bypassed their security entirely simply because it hacked the human element through sophisticated social engineering. I mean, think about it. No antivirus software in the world is going to stop you from willingly handing over the keys when you genuinely believe your own boss is asking for them on a live video.
Which brings us to our final section. Part 5. Trust no one.
This whole terrifying ordeal has sparked a massive global policy shift. In the past, video and audio evidence, that was the gold standard, right? If you saw it with your own eyes, it was real. But as this heist proved, that is no longer sufficient. Welcome to the present, where out-of-band authentication is strictly required. Companies are literally having to abandon trusting their own eyes and ears. To secure financial moves today, businesses are actually resorting to old-school analog solutions. We're talking physical cryptographic keys that you have to physically plug into a machine, or even prearranged verbal code words. It's like something straight out of a Cold War spy movie, but it's what we have to do now, just to prove you are who you say you are.
So it leaves us with this lingering, incredibly provocative thought. As generative AI just keeps evolving, creating these perfect, indistinguishable copies from the digital breadcrumbs we all leave online, if seeing isn't believing anymore, what is? I want you to really think about your own digital footprint, your own workplace, and your own vulnerabilities in a world where reality itself can be so effortlessly cloned. Stay curious, stay vigilant, and I'll catch you on the next explainer.